It's time to address these lazy Trent Alexander-Arnold narratives once and for all. So Wayne Rooney has just done a show with Gary Neville on The Overlap, where he's come out and said that Trent Alexander-Arnold cannot defend and he wouldn't have him anywhere near his England team, which is a mind-blowingly stupid statement for a number of reasons, but what can you expect from a man who failed as DC United and Birmingham City manager? Trent Alexander-Arnold has been tarred with this brush that he cannot defend for a number of years now, so it's time for me to set the record straight, put the cards on the table, and let yous make your decision. Trent Alexander-Arnold rarely broke into Liverpool's first team and gained that starting right-back spot in the 2018-19 season as Liverpool went on to get 97 points and win the Champions League. In that season, Liverpool had the best defence in the Premier League and the best defence in the Champions League. Pretty good for a team with a crap defensive right-back, wouldn't you say? The next year, 2019-20, Liverpool went on to win the league with 99 points, once again having the best defence in the Premier League. Again, pretty good for a team who, carrying a right-back through. In the 2020-2021 season, Liverpool dropped to having the third best defence in the Premier League. But considering they had 20 different centre-back partnerships that season, with the most used partnership being Nat Phillips and Ozan Kabak, who only actually played a combined 8 games together, you might be able to excuse Liverpool and Trent for having a defensively substandard season that year. And they were still the third best defence in the Premier League. The next year, 21-22, with Virgil van Dijk, Joe Matip back fit, Joe Gomez back fit, Ibu Konate signed, Liverpool went back to having the best defence in the Premier League. Once again, not bad for a team with a right-back who apparently can't defend. The 22-23 season was a pretty poor season, all things considered, by Trent standards and by Liverpool's defensive standards, dropping to having the 7th best defence in the Premier League. But this year they rebounded pretty well, having the 3rd best defence in the Premier League. Once again, having a number of different centre-back partnerships and a number of different midfield partnerships. And Trent Alexander-Arnold himself missed 3 months of this season, so it's pretty hard to judge him defensively when he missed a crucial part of the running. So that's 3 out of 6 seasons where Trent Alexander-Arnold was the starting right-back, where Liverpool had the best defence in the league. 2 of the other 3 seasons they had the 3rd best defence in the league, and one of them they had the 7th best defence in the league. If Trent Alexander-Arnold cannot defend, yet Liverpool remain this defensively solid, then what does that say about the rest of the players in this team? Is it finally time to anoint Virgil van Dijk as the greatest centre-back to have ever played football because he was able to have the best defence in the Premier League 3 times in 4 years, despite having to carry a right-back who cannot defend and is a net negative to the team defensively? Are we saying that Alisson is the greatest goalkeeper to ever exist for the same reasons? Are we saying Andy Robertson is the greatest left-back to ever play for the same reasons? Do you understand how crazy those narratives are? But that is the line of thinking you have to use when you try and downplay Trent Alexander-Arnold defensively. Now, is his defensive side of the game his strongest part of his game? No, not at all. That would be crazy, because Trent Alexander-Arnold is one of the best creative forces in football right now. He's simply not going to be that good defensively. He can't be Kevin De Bruyne in attack and Kevin De Bruyne in defence. He can't be. That's not possible. So, is the defensive side of his game weaker than the attacking side? Yes, because the attacking side of his game is ridiculously good. Does that mean he is therefore a bad defender who cannot defend at all? Not at all. If you want to go back, we'll go right back to the start. Actually, before I even counted this period from 2018-19, in the biggest game of his career, in 2017-18, Champions League final, against Real Madrid, Liverpool lost 3-1, I know. None of the goals came down Trent Alexander-Arnold's side. In fact, he was so good defensively and gave Cristiano Ronaldo nothing to work with that for the final 20 minutes of that game, Cristiano Ronaldo switched sides to the right wing to try and get some joy against Andy Robertson. Do you understand how crazy that is? At 18 years old, Trent Alexander-Arnold made Cristiano Ronaldo swap sides in a Champions League final because he was giving him no joy. If you want a list of players Trent Alexander-Arnold has had stellar defensive performances against, I can rattle off a brief list right now just off the top of my head. Leroy Sané, Raheem Sterling, Kingsley Coman, Serge Gnabry, Eden Hazard, Matoma this season. This is just off the top of my head. This is without doing any research or properly thinking about it. To this narrative that Trent Alexander-Arnold cannot defend and is a liability is absolutely crazy. Liverpool would not have won everything they've won if they had a right-back who couldn't defend. That's simply not possible. No team can do that. Football has moved on beyond the point where luxury players are a thing. You cannot be a luxury player nowadays. You have to have an element of all-roundness to your game, especially if you're playing at fullback or midfield, which Trent Alexander-Arnold does to a very high level because he's actually a very good footballer. This narrative that he cannot defend needs to be stopped. Either, and I'll end on this, people need to make a decision in their minds. Trent Alexander-Arnold can defend, or Trent Alexander-Arnold cannot defend, and one of Virgil van Dijk, Alisson Becker, or Andy Robertson are the greatest to ever play the game in their position because they managed to achieve all they achieved whilst holding their right back's hand throughout. Which is it going to be, people? Which is it going to be?